What's up, boss babe? Adrienne Dione here, and I want to welcome you to the replay of the Fundamentals of Business Bootcamp. Now, the replay does start with a brief introduction of who I am, so if you're not familiar, you will get a kind of synopsis or summary of who I am and what I do. But I just ultimately wanted to say, at any point during the replay, you have questions about anything, simply email me or set up a strategy call, and I will be happy to help. So without further ado, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I am gonna do my introduction, so that'll give people a little bit more time to come in as well. But basically, my name is Adrienne, also known as a Fundamentor. I'm a podcast host, public speaker, and business coach. I work with small business owners, specifically service-based business owners, to help them start, run, and scale their businesses. And so last night, I kind of explained the different parts of it, but essentially, I am just passionate about making sure that you guys, people who are small business owners, you make so many sacrifices, personal finances being used, you sacrifice so much time. And I just want to make sure that you are setting up your business for longevity. So many of us, so many people now are just starting businesses. It's easy to do and it is a good thing, but we don't want to make sure that all of our sacrifices and everything that we're doing, all our hard work, the time we're putting into it, we want to make sure that it's able to grow into maturity, and in 2 or 3 years, we don't, it doesn't fail, and we're able to hit our goals. So that is what I do. I love working with you guys. Entrepreneurs are just like my favorite because you guys are so talented and have so many creative ideas. And I found that early on. And I just love helping you guys get structured and organized so you can do your thing and reach your goals. So that was kind of the basis of this whole fundamental of business boot camp, because I know that when it comes to longevity, 2 things come into play: profitability and sustainability. And so last night we focused on the profitability part. Thank you, Vaughn. We focused on the profitability part. So if you missed last night, there will be a replay sent out, and it's going to be, I'm going to send it out tomorrow, and it will be available all weekend. So I would highly suggest you go back and watch last night. We went over a lot of good stuff: sales funnels, business model, and structure, standing out in a saturated market. A lot of good things, and I would highly suggest you go back and watch it. But tonight we're going to be focusing on sustainability, and all of that just kind of talks about making sure your business is set up and you're able to maintain it long term. So we're going to be going over everything you see on the list here. And just for housekeeping rules, if you do have questions throughout the presentation, type them as they come to you, and I'll go back and answer them periodically to make sure that everybody's on the same page, because I am going to be giving out a lot of good information and I don't want anybody to get lost. So that is the main thing. The other thing though is I need y'all to talk back to me, okay? I don't want to just be talking the whole time and y'all are quiet. So I will be asking questions and asking you to put different things in the chat. So just rock with me, stay with me, and interact with me. So let's talk about, where is my screen? Where did my screen go? Hold on. Lost my screen for a second on my end. Get this going. Okay, here we go. So when it comes to sustainability, I think that we can start with just the definition: the ability to maintain or support a process continuously over time. So the important thing that I want you guys to take away from this is that sustainability requires profitability, right? We know that, we talked about that yesterday. But just because you are profitable, it does not mean that you will automatically have longevity. So that is a really, really, really big thing. And why is that? It is because there are key factors that are fundamental to longevity and sustainability. So if we are going to grow our businesses into maturity, then the way we think about our businesses must change. We can't just think about profits. We have to, number one, think about our vision. What is the goal for your business? This is very, very important because for some people, you may just want some income on the side that will support you, and you're not really looking to expand or grow your business to where it's a multi-million-dollar business. But that needs to be clarified because it will determine how you make decisions about your business. For some of you, you may want to have a business that you can pass down to your generation, your kids, and make sure you're creating generational wealth. Some of you may be wanting to grow a business to where you can grow it, scale it, and then sell it. And that's your retirement plan, right? So I think it's very, very important that we understand the vision for our businesses. Okay, that's the first thing. Clarifying the goal is going to be the most fundamental key factor in how you will be sustaining your business. The second one is a solid plan for profitability. And we talked about a lot of that yesterday. So make sure you go back and watch that. But you have to have a plan for how you were going to profit and do that over a long period of time. The third one is adaptability, right? You have to go into this whole business thing with an open mind and be adaptable. Culture is going to change. Trends are going to change. The economy is going to change. And if you are really rigid in your mindset and you're stuck in a one set way type of mind frame, then you're going to get left behind, right? We've seen that with how much technology has changed, how much the algorithm changed with digital marketing, all of that. And so you have to go in with the mindset that I'm going to be adaptable, right? I'm going to not always jump on every trend, but you have to know that you have to be adaptable to make it in the market, right? And with that being said, you have to have a tolerance for failure, right? You are not going to make it in the entrepreneurship or business realm if you're afraid of failure. You're not going to take risks. And the whole thing for entrepreneurs, we're solving problems. That's what we do. So if you don't have a tolerance for failure, you're not going to be able to sustain your business long term. And then efficiency, it has to come before everything else. You should always be asking the question, am I making the best possible use of this resource? And when I say resource, I'm talking about time, money, the systems that you're using, employees, all of that matters, right? And you always have to be asking that question, am I making the best possible use of these resources? Now, I also want to talk about mindset, because mindset is really, really important, right? So we're playing the long game here. Your business is not a hobby, right? If you are here, you're here because you're a small business owner, you're trying to learn how to grow your business, gain clients, sustain over a long period of time. You cannot do your business only when you feel like it. You cannot do it without established boundaries that's going to protect you and your business. And you cannot do it without planning ahead and forecasting, right? So the way we move when it comes to sustainability must be with the future in mind at all times. So it's all about moving from the solopreneur to the entrepreneur mindset. So what do you think? First of all, tell me if you think solopreneurs and entrepreneurs are the same. If you think it's the same, put a 1 in the chat. If you think they're different, put a 2 in the chat. Bree says 2. Kiana says 2. Okay, Vaughn says you never heard the word. Okay, Victoria says 2. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about the solopreneur and entrepreneur mindset. They are two totally different things. Solopreneurs, we kind of say solopreneurs because you're the only one running or in the business, but solopreneurs are normally the founder and the employee. Entrepreneurs, even though they may start off running their businesses solo, their whole mindset is to eventually hire other people to carry out the day-to-day tasks, so they can focus just on managing the business itself and growing it. Because otherwise, this is an important difference in the two. Otherwise, you're going to cap yourself as a solopreneur by your ability, your time, and your capacity, right? Because you're only one person. You're human. You can only do so much. You only have so much time. So when we're thinking about growing our businesses and having it to be a business for a long period of time, we have to change from that solopreneur mindset. Solopreneurs also have a single business focus. So pretty much they're offering one thing in a specific niche. They're kind of focused on just building up their clientele, keeping their business profitable, and they're not really looking to expand. So it could be someone who's a hairstylist, right? And a lot of solo service-based businesses kind of fall into this mindset because they just want enough money to fund their lifestyle. That's a solopreneur. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're looking for ways to expand. You're looking for new income streams. You're always looking for a broader range and other options so that you can add, and you're looking to add team members and to grow, right? And then lastly, like solopreneurs, again, they're not really interested in scaling. They just want profits. They want to live off their lifestyle. But entrepreneurs, they handle their finances differently because they want to add more people. And as the company grows, the business gets bigger and bigger. Now their responsibilities also grow, right? It's not just about them and them paying themselves. Now they have to pay their team. They have to offer benefits. They have to think about taxes and accounting and all of that. So let me just know in the chat, are you a solopreneur or are you an entrepreneur? What type of mindset do you have? That will help me to kind of cater the rest of this presentation to the people who are in this chat or in the room. Okay. Okay, Kiana says entrepreneur, solo. Bree says solo. Okay. Eventually wanted to be an entrepreneur. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Okay. So we got a lot of entrepreneurs, some solo, eventually want to get to the entrepreneur mindset. And I just want to say to that, even if you know that's something that you want to grow towards, still all of the decisions that you're making has to be with that mindset of thinking about the future. Remember, I said that earlier, always thinking about the future. That's super, super important. And you can do that being present. So let's talk about executing the role of CEO. Do y'all see that on the screen, executing the role of CEO? Because I can't see y'all's view anymore. Let me see. Nope. Okay. Okay, now we can. Okay, perfect. Let me do one more thing here. I don't know why this is acting up today. Okay. All right. So, as we all know, when we're the only person in our businesses and we're running our businesses right now, even if you have like one or two people helping out, you still have a lot of hats to wear, right? And so you're doing most of the work. But hopefully you're going to grow to where you're building a team, but I want to help you right now. So when it comes to your role as CEO, I want to clarify what that is, and then we'll think about all of the other hats that you have to wear. But this is the most essential, most important role as CEO, you are responsible for the overall success of the business, including the vision, the mission, the direction, and the overall strategy. What does that look like? Tracking performance, being the face of the business. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't really like that. And yes, you can have other people, you know, in your business or whatever. But when I put public relations, because what you do outside of your business affects your business, right? Your reputation as the business owner, as the CEO, affects how people see your business. I know it really doesn't, or it shouldn't, but it really does. When people see you or think about you and your business and you running it, your reputation will say a lot about whether they'll do business with you. So we have to keep that stuff in mind. I think I remember Elon Musk, he was like smoking weed on some type of interview or something, and then they said his stocks and stuff went down. I'm pretty sure he doesn't care, but I'm just saying that's an example of what you do outside of your business. No matter whether you give good customer service or not, if you're, you know, in the newspaper, DUIs, all that kind of stuff, it's going to affect your business. Establishing work culture. And I put that on there because habits, whether they're good or bad, they start at the top and trickle down. So if you are disorganized, if you are always late, if you are whatever you are as a person, as a CEO, that's going to trickle down in your business. And even when you bring on employees and team members, if you don't know how to talk to them, or if you don't know how to communicate, that is the type of work culture you're going to create in your business. So please be mindful of that too. And then budgeting and forecasting, developing strategic plans, all of that falls under the CEO role. It also means good calendar management, having task and project management skills, great health habits, and work-life balance. Work-life balance is super important because the only way for you to show up as the best person in your business is if you have a good work-life balance. If not, you're not going to be able to perform at your best. So it's super important for you to know your role as CEO. This is never going to change for you. Now, when it comes to you wearing the other different hats, I know a lot of people, if you ask certain people, they'll say different things as far as departments, but I like simple stuff. And this is the simplest, I think, or what I use for, I think, any business. CEO, you have marketing and sales, you have operations, you have customer service, and you have finance. Now, I do not want you guys to overcomplicate this. Yes, there are a lot of roles and a lot of tasks for each of these different departments, but wearing many hats well all comes down to you knowing the difference between working in your business and working on your business, and then creating a schedule for that. So how many of you kind of get confused when it comes to what you should be doing when you're working on your business versus in your business? If you're kind of confused on it, let me know in the chat. I know when I first started out, I was always like, you know, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And then you throw in money generating activities. I just feel like at the time, like it's always an issue. So I kind of wanted to lay out the difference for you so that you can see. Maybe you can screenshot this so that you have something to refer back to. But working in your business is those day-to-day activities that keep your business going, right? So making the products or delivering the service, admin work, marketing, creating emails, creating content, creating videos, whatever that is. So remember yesterday when we were talking about how to create that sales funnel, when you plan all of that out the way I taught, when you answer those questions and you plan it out, actually putting together the stuff for the sales funnel, that's something you would be doing in working in your business. And then working on your business is the CEO work. So strategic planning, doing your weekly reviews, research and development. Market research is so important for the growth of your business. And that's what working on your business is all about. developing those growth strategies, thinking about the future of your business and making sure that you are preparing for that. And the thing is, if you're always just working in your business, you're keeping your business going right now. But if you don't plan for the future, then when that time comes, you will be unprepared. So it's super important that you spend time on both. And the more that you work on your business, the easier the work you do in your business will get. So creating those systems and automating processes, finding tasks to delegate and outsource. There should be a specific amount of time set aside for you to work on your business. And so the rule of thumb is basically 80% of your time should be working in your business, and then 20% of your time should be working on your business. So that kind of equates to about 1 to 2 hours per day, or you could say 1 hour or 1 day per week. Now, I want to talk about how to create a schedule for this. Does anybody have any questions about this? Maybe you want to say a task that you do, you don't know whether it's working in or on your business. Are y'all good? So when it comes to creating an efficient schedule, number one, you want to sit down and clarify all of the activities that are in versus on your specific business. So for each department, what is it that you need to do for those specific departments, and then label it or categorize it, whether it's working in and on your business. And then the second thing you want to do is decide the best time for working on your business and how often it should be. So for me, I suggest like 1 day a week. So normally my day is on Fridays. I kind of go over all my finances. I do my weekly review, whatever else I need to do. And then I do a big planning session monthly, quarterly, and annually. But I want you guys to do what's best for you, because I hate when people try to say like, oh, this is what you should do. It all differs because of your business. So do what works for you. Create the business and the schedule and all of that for what works for you. No one size fit. There is no one size fit all formula. So do you guys have any questions about like creating an efficient schedule for this? Let me let 2 people in the room. If you're good, put a 1 in the chat so I know. One of the books that I highly recommend when it comes to wearing all the hats and just kind of making sure you're good is the E-Myth Revisited. It's a really good book. And it's an old book, but the principles there are really, really good to help you kind of know like the mind frame when you're working on different areas of your business. Vaughn asks, do I still do the Saturday weekly planning sessions? I do not right now, but I will be bringing them back. So I'll let you know. But yes, those planning sessions were very, very, very helpful for like a lot of us because it made us sit a specific amount of time out to work, kind of like and plan everything. So highly suggest that. So let's go to optimizing day-to-day operations. The reality is many people or many small business owners live in fear of missing something rather than enjoying the freedom of organization and control of a well-organized system. Okay, these are fundamental key factors to optimizing your day-to-day operations and managing your business in general. The first one is planning ahead. I know y'all hate planning ahead. It feels restrictive to have like a hour by hour plan or whatever the case may be, but it really does free your mind and it really does free up your time. So you don't have to walk around feeling anxious all the time because you're forgetting something, or you don't know when you're going to work on this. Like, it's so important to plan ahead. Nobody, if you're in my Facebook group, should have any problems with planning. If you do have issues with planning, put a 2 in the chat, and I'm gonna give you send you my freebie and the ClickUp tutorial that I have, because it should not be an option. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. Jessica, you definitely should not have a problem with planning. Vaughn said it's the execution for me. Okay. So here's the thing with planning, you guys. It does take self-discipline, but the more you do it, the better you get with anything. I will say, go digital, have something that you can have access to for your brain dumps and remembering everything. And if you don't already have my ClickUp tutorial in the Gold Digger Starter Kit, definitely get that. I'm gonna put this in the chat really quick for you guys. But planning is pretty much the #1 priority for everything. And then when it comes to using systems and automations, all systems start with a standard operating procedure, right? I think we all know about systems. And when I got to this part and I was kind of preparing for this presentation, I was like, I really don't even know what to say here, because I feel like I keep saying the same thing over and over. You guys know you need the systems, you know you need automations, you know why it's important, you know that it saves a bunch of time. It just really helps out. So if you have questions about systems and automations, let me know in the chat so I can answer specifically for your question. But there are some things that I did want to say about selecting the systems for your business. All systems do start with a standard operating procedure. Okay. All right, I'm gonna ask you a question in a minute, Vaughn. So what I mean by that is there has to be a process that exists in order for you to create a system and build off of that process. So basically what you want to do is asking, what is it that you do? What are the steps that you follow? And then look at how you can automate that. It's going to be really hard for you to choose a system if you don't have your workflow processes already outlined, right? So you have to do that first. You have to know the standard operating procedure for your business. So it should look like task, procedure, right? And then you automate that. So before you start investing in systems, you need to make sure that you understand how your business works, and then what processes are being taken in order to keep it running smoothly. The second thing is that all systems are not created equal. Organizing the back end of your business is not just you purchasing and setting up a program, label, a CRM system, okay? It will not work if your workflows and your processes aren't efficient and organized. So yes, you can go with Dubsado or Honeybook or whatever the case may be. And then you invest in that. And because your processes aren't organized, you're going to feel like the system, you're still manually doing a lot of the work, because it's not the system, it's your workflow and your processes. So does that make sense? I'll give an example. Kiana's on here. She's one of my clients. She was thinking about using Honeybook, but once we looked at her workflow and her processes, she needed something where the clients could upload to the system that she was using, and Honeybook didn't offer that option or that feature. And so that system wasn't working for her, right? And so what if she had to pay all this money to get it, and then it didn't deliver? Now she has to go and pay more money for another system, integrate that, all of that kind of stuff. it's not worth it. So before you invest in systems, get your workflow and your processes organized, and then you'll choose a system based on what can actually accommodate what you need. Another thing is that proper systems will allow you to delegate without sacrificing quality. So it should be the same, whatever system you're using should be able to do the exact same thing you would do if you were doing it manually. And if someone else came in and you have your user or your operations manual, you tell them exactly what you do, show them how to do it, they should be able to get the same result you would get without the quality decreasing. And then lastly, your system should be scalable, right? When you are investing in systems, you want to make sure that the system can handle the volume. So as you grow and more customers come in, you don't want any systems that can only hold, a certain amount. You want to make sure that it has the capacity, even if that means you'll have to pay or upgrade, for the amount of money that you're paying for it, it should still be scalable. It should have the capability. And the other thing, you shouldn't be using a whole bunch of different systems, right? Try to use something that's all in one. That's going to help your to decrease your operational costs, overall, right? So you don't want to be using 5 different systems. You got to use Zapier to integrate everything. Like, you don't want that, right? So make sure that your system is scalable, and it should be an all-in-one as much as possible. Do you guys have any questions for that? Vaughn says, how to automate would be awesome. Okay. I would probably have to look at your workflow and processes to see what system, and then talk about automation. All right, if y'all are good, put a 2 in the chat if y'all ready to talk about diversifying income streams. Jessica says 2. Cool. I think y'all ready. So let's get to it. All right. So we do know that profitability and longevity are not mutually exclusive, right? Sustainable businesses require a strong framework that drives revenue, and it also stands the test of time, right? So we saw with COVID how businesses were like, we out of here. Like, they were failing left and right if they weren't able to adapt and diversify their income stream. And so this is important for us to remember. We can't just think about profits. We have to think about maintaining over a long period of time, being adaptable. And that is what diversifying your income streams will help you do. Okay. Is the screen still not sharing? I'm so over this today. It should say diversifying income streams, Sharonda. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, cool. So, let's look at why you should diversify. Of course, it is really risky for you to rely on just one source of income stream in your business. Okay, diversifying helps you, again, avoid being completely reliant on one single income stream, creates a safety net in case something else goes down or dries up. It gives you time to create another one if that instance does happen. And then it provides new opportunities to broaden your business for expansion, creating new clients, and exploring new opportunities. So how do we diversify? Of course, you could go and Google diversifying income stream ideas. You will probably get a lot of them. But for business, I want you guys to think of it differently. So not just thinking about, oh, let me pick this, and this. But I really want you guys to start thinking about it in this way. Number one, start with your ideal client's pain points. Find new ways to support them where they are. So basically just asking yourself, my ideal client day, right? What is that like? And what's keeping up at night? What are some things that I can do to make their life easier? So I'll give you an example of how I did this. And this really requires you to know your ideal client. And yesterday we talked about niching. And this is one of the benefits of niching, because you really get to know your ideal client, and you can think of different things that they're going through or their pain points and how you can support them. So one of the things that I found with a lot of, okay, let's see. Let me try something. Oh. I think I stopped sharing for a second. I don't know why it's tripping tonight. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try it again. Okay. Do you guys see my screen now? No. One second. Yes, but not like before. That's so weird. Let me try one more time. Sorry about that, guys. Let me try it one more time. How about now? Yes, okay, perfect. All right, yay, okay. So the example that I was about to give was, you have to know your ideal client. So one of the things that I know about my ideal client, who are service-based business owners, they have a lot of responsibility. So they are not only trying to run their business and do all the stuff that they need to do in their business, they're also trying to deal with their personal life too. And one of their pain points is that they forget a lot of the stuff that they need to do. If that's you, put a 2 in the chat. If you real forgetful and you feel like your time just all over everywhere. Because I knew that, I created something where I said, okay, let me find a way to help them to manage all of the tasks that they have. So I created a process in ClickUp, and I sell that now. So that's a whole nother income stream where I'm just basically supporting my ideal client in different ways. So yes, now I do offer one-on-one coaching, but I also have something that I can support them for one of their pain points. So think about your ideal client and other things. Even though you may be a VA, what are some other ways you can support them where they are now with their day-to-day stuff? Another example is looking for ways to offer your main product better, faster, and cheaper. And I'll give you an example of this for my business. And if you want some examples for your business and how like you could do this, let me know what you do in the comment, in the chat, and we can explore some ways. But for me, I offered one-on-one coaching program. It's a 12-week program. But I did know that when I'm thinking about how can I diversify this, okay, how can I offer my main product better and faster and cheaper? Because everybody can afford to pay the price for my one-on-one 12-week coaching program, right? I don't devalue myself and bring the course down. The program price down. I just diversify it. So now I offer a 90-minute session where we focus on one topic, 1 to 2 topics, right? And I get them fast results. So I'm still getting them results, but I'm doing it in a way that's faster and cheaper than if they were in the coaching program. So I basically just diversified that main product. Does that make sense? So you can do this with bundles, courses. I could do group coaching program. That's a diversified way. You could do tier packages from your main products. Those are all different ways of diversifying income streams within your business. Another way is to expand the platforms that you currently use. So where you market and where you sell. And what I mean by that, right? If you already have courses that you offer on your website, okay, so say you offer a course, become a Skillshare teacher, right? That's opening you up to a whole new audience, right? And it's still using the things that you're already doing. So you can change up things there. So think about what platforms you're already on, and then you can flip that by just moving to a different market or where you market and where you sell. So if you have a book that you sell on your website, you could offer it on Amazon to change up your audience. And then, of course, if you're digital, you go physical and vice versa. So if you have digital products, you can offer something to where you sell it in local stores or expos. That is one of the things that I've done recently. I did a vendor table at a women's expo, which was really good. Surprisingly, you wouldn't probably think a business coach would be at a women's expo, but there are a lot of people who have ideas of things that they want to do, business ideas. And I just went to a whole different audience just by having a vendor table, selling t-shirts, different things like that. So those are some ways. Do you guys have any questions about how you could diversify in your business? I will say there are some things to remember. Please stay on brand. Please stay on brand, right? So if you sell t-shirts, you don't want to just all of a sudden start, I don't know, just something that's not on brand, right? And then trying to market that to your audience, because it just won't make sense, right? You don't want to start saying, okay, I sell t-shirts and now I have a cleaning service, on the side, and I can come clean your house too, girl, and I do VA stuff. Like, that just looks weird. Does that make sense? I hope I didn't offend anybody. You don't have to try and reinvent the wheel. Use what you already have. Bree says I'm offended. Use what you already have, and then only expand after you've gained consistency in the main area. This is a big one because I know you guys have a lot of different ideas. And if you aren't careful, you'll do a little here, your hand in a little here, and you won't be growing at all because you're too divided, right? You're not really growing in any one area. So make sure that you're expanding only after you gain consistency and profits in one area, and then you can expand from there. And then choose revenue streams that will not require you to sacrifice a lot more of your time. So if me doing vendor tables is going to take me 5 hours, and it's going to take me now sacrificing time in my main area. So now I don't have that much hours to do my coaching program because I'm doing that. That's not a really smart way to diversify, because I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? So make sure that you are choosing revenue streams that will not require you to sacrifice a lot more time. That's why it's really important to use what you already have. Okay. Is everybody good on diversifying income streams? Y'all don't need no ideas, no nothing. Y'all good. Let me know in the chat. And we only have one more section. I'm almost done. We're going to talk about obtaining resources and fundraising. Okay. So one of the biggest challenges for entrepreneurs and small business owners is finding funding necessary to launch and eventually grow your businesses. So I want to give you guys 3 of my best recommendations, I would say. And these are not anything that you guys don't already know. I just want to highlight them because I don't think we really take advantage of them. So the number one thing is small business grants. This is free money for startups and existing businesses. How many of you guys actively look for grants? Put a 1 in the chat if you actively look for grants all the time. If you don't, put a 2 in the chat. Like if you know about grants, but you're not really like looking for them, you haven't really spent time looking for grants, put a 2 in the chat. Yeah. So it's something that we know, right? Yeah, Kiona says, I used to. It's something that we know, but we don't take advantage of. And if we're not taking advantage of them, we can't be mad when, we say all these other people coming in and they get money for this and they get money for that, because honestly, yeah, Kiona, some are industry specific. Yes. Honestly, it does take effort on your part to find them. And I'm going to give you some of my favorite ones, some that I've gotten before that I think all of you guys would benefit from signing up with. But crowdfunding is another one. I spelled that wrong. Crowdfunding is another one for nonprofits. So if you have nonprofit organizations, you should definitely be used crowdfunding. And crowdfunding is basically where people donate money, right? They get tax write-offs for it. You tell them about, your plan and your organization, and they give you, that's more, a lot of it can be free, but that's another great way of getting money and funding for your nonprofit. And then also the third one is business credit. We have to position ourselves to be eligible for business credit. And I know that in our minds, like we don't want to be in a hole, but let me tell you something. There are a lot of businesses who operate off of business credit and being, in the red, right? That's how they are functioning their businesses, because they're using their cash flow for, other things like paying their employees and other stuff. So don't be afraid of business credit. You definitely want to be educated on it. And I definitely have some people that I can refer you to, because that's not my expertise, but I just don't want us to miss opportunities because we aren't positioned correctly to be able to take advantage of those benefits. So making sure you have a business bank account, an address, your business address is outside of your home because you will not qualify otherwise. You have your EIN and you have a business plan. You want to make sure that you can use business credit for everyday expenses instead of using your cash flow all the time. And when it comes to you growing your business and scaling, it's going to take a lot of funding. And this will qualify you for obtaining larger loans. Even now, even though you're not ready for it, you should be building business credit now so that you are positioned for it in the future, right? So here are some of my favorite grants. If you are not signed up on Hello Alice, definitely sign up. They literally email you about different grant opportunities, right? Go ahead and screenshot this, and make sure you're like a part of a lot of these. But the I Fund Women grants, they give grants all the time. That's another really good one. The National Association for the Self-Employed, they do a lot of grants. The Amber Grant is one of my favorites. They award $10,000 to different women-owned businesses every month. And I think it's like they award like 10 different people every month. So a lot of these are like databases that allow you to see when grants come up, and different ones that you may be eligible for. But you guys, the main thing that you need to do is get signed up with them so that you get the emails and you're notified when different ones come up. Federal grants are another one that are very, very important. And I think it would be a great investment to invest in a grant writer or a grant writing course for your business. That's something that will definitely help you. Because most of them ask the same questions. Tell us about your business. How do you help? What are your challenges? What would you use the money for? And some of them ask for a business plan. Sometimes they don't. But I've gotten awarded grants just because of some of these organizations, and they do it all the time. And then I put sponsorships on here because this is another one that a lot of people don't take advantage of, is corporate deals or corporate sponsorships. So if your audience, or it has to make sense, right? If if certain organizations and your target audience is aligned, you can ask for sponsorship in exchange for promoting their business. You could even ask family members and friends or either local businesses to do the same thing in exchange for certain benefits. And I promise you, you may think that people don't want it, but they'll definitely be willing to give a certain amount of money, whether it's big or small, for certain benefits. And that's consistent money that's coming in. You can do it like a subscription, monthly or quarterly, that they give in exchange for specific benefits or in exchange for promotion. So don't look into sponsorships and asking different corporations that are in line with your business for sponsorships. And then you could also do ask your audience, depending on your business. You could create specific content, especially for them, for like monthly donations. When I first started doing it, it was for Patreon. It was a couple of years ago, but I had certain, when I was doing my podcast, I would create certain episodes where people would have to pay for it. And it's something that was easy for me because I was creating content anyway. And that literally paid for like the back end of my business, like different systems that I use, because I had so many people who were signed up for that specific, special content that I was creating. So you could create something just like that, like the Patreon thing, specifically for your business. So do you have any questions about any of these grants or getting grants, grant writing, sponsorships, any of this about funding for your business? Let me know in the chat. But it is our responsibility as CEO, remembering sustainability, it is our responsibility to think about resources and funding for growth. And so this is something that we should be looking for on a consistent basis. So does anyone have any questions about anything that I presented tonight? Let me know in the comments. Again, I will be sharing the replay of last night, which was a lot more hefty, good information about profitability. So definitely go back and check that out. I will be sending it, but it will only be available like over the weekend and probably Monday. So definitely look out for that. I should be sending it tomorrow. But yeah, do the grants require a business account? Actually, yes. The ones that I've gotten have all gone to my business account. But let me tell y'all something. Novo.co. I'll put it in the chat. This is an online business account that you can get that's free. It doesn't cost any money, like a minimum requirement. At the least, get that, right? Until you're ready to switch over to another like Bank of America or something like that. Because I know how it is. When I first started out, you're only making so much, money, and business accounts want you to be able to, hold a certain amount of money. And it can be frustrating because you want to be official, but you're like, I'm not there yet, and you want to separate your money. But Novo.com is really, really good. I like them, and you can use that as your business account until you want to move to something else, if you want to move to something else, but it's free. It's a free one. So there's no excuses, okay, why you can't have a business account. Any other questions? Thank you all for sticking with me and coming 2 nights. And you guys know I don't sell on my boot camps or master classes or anything like that, but I do want you to know I am here to help. This is my info. Follow me on Instagram, join my Facebook group, because I'm always giving out a lot of helpful tips and different things like that. So Kiana, you have your hand raised. You have something to say? I don't know if she had a question or not. But okay. So if not, thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Thank you, Victoria. Do you still need the business account set up to sign on with Novo.co? So Novo.co is a business bank account. Did I put it in there right? So it is a business bank account. Oh, where is it? Let me put the right one in there before you leave. Oh, okay. Here it is. Novo.co, like that. There it is. It is a business bank account. So you can set up your business bank account there. And that way you'll be ready for the grants and the if you want to, you should have business credit. I don't care how small you are, start it. Start it now so that you will, be ready for the future as you grow. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I will be sending out the replay of both nights to you tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a good night. Bye.